the React application, let's have a look at the directory structure. We will go through all the files and folders which are available in this directory structure. We will start with node modules. This contains all the project's dependencies installed via npm. Then we have the public directory that contains the static files that are served directly by the server. If I expand this, you will be able to see certain other files such as favicon.ico. This is actually the favicon of your application. Then we have index.html. This is the main HTML file where the React application will be rendered. Then after that we have two logos. And then we have manifest.json. This is the configuration file for progressive web apps. Then we have robot.txt. These are the instructions for web crawlers and search engines. Means basically this is meant for search engine optimization. And after that we have another folder, that is the src. This contains the source code of your application. In src directory, we will start with index.js. The index.js is very important because this is the JavaScript file which is the entry point of your application. Means where the root component is rendered. I'll discuss more about this later in this video. Then after that we have app.js. This is the main component of your React application and often used to define the structure and layout of your app. And it can also include other components. Then we will move to app.css. So this is the CSS file that contains the styles specific to the app component. And it helps in styling the elements within the app.js. Further, we have app.test.css. This file contains the unit tests for your app component, and it also helps to ensure that the component behaves as expected. Then we do have index.css. This is used for global styling that applies across the entire application. Then after that, we have report webvitals.js. This file is used to measure and report the performance of your application. And it also helps in identifying performance issues and optimizations. Then we have setup tests.js. This file is used to configure and set up the testing environment before running the test. Now there are certain other files such as gitignore. This specifies the files and directories that Git should ignore. Then you have package.json. This contains the metadata about your project, such as dependencies, the scripts, and other project information. You also have package lock.json that locks the files for managing dependency versions. And finally, we have this README file. This is just a markdown file that usually contains information about your project. This was just an overview of the directory structure. But mostly we won't be dealing with many of these files. But let's have a look at how exactly our application worked last time. So our server is already running and you see this logo and it says edit src app.js and save to read. We will quickly take a look at app.js. So you can see that there are two import statements importing the logo and a CSS file, that is app.css. You can see a function that is returning some HTML. So as you see that it says that you can modify the code in order to see the result. Let's say if for example, if I say right here, learn React.js with NuvWebDev. Alright, so we can have a look at the output. Let's see if changes have occurred, and yes, changes have occurred. Now we need to understand what exactly happened, how these changes were reflected onto the browser just by making the changes in a JavaScript file. First, we need to understand that this app.js is a default component of your React application. So a component is nothing but a reusable piece of code. This reusable piece of code is being utilized somewhere in your application. Let's have a look at the entry point, that is index.js. You see a piece of code here. There is a variable called root which is creating the root of your application. That is a root container. And it is utilizing or fetching the root ID. This root ID is holding, it's a root container which is trying to render this app component using root.render, that is this variable.render. So whatsoever the components you create, you will be able to render it here. But where this root resides, let's have a look. It resides inside index.html, and you will be able to see in line number 31 div id equals to root, where you don't see any content as of now. Because this is the root container, it is automatically able to render your app component using this index.js. So now I hope we are clear about the directory structure and how your component is rendered on the web page. In the next video, we will learn more about components.